Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And yeah, somewhat of a quicker and simpler card video, but it includes a giveaway. This is the important part. The giveaway is going to be on my Instagram account. I will link to that at the top, usually under my videos. All my social media is linked at the you have to scroll to the very bottom when you expand the description box. I've got links to my socials and everything. I'll link to that at the top. I'm doing it on Instagram because it's easier for this sort of giveaway. And that's what, this is important. Regardless, if I am ever doing a giveaway, whether it be on my Instagram, my Facebook page, here on YouTube, on my blog, whenever I do a giveaway, I will never contact you or respond to your comments and be all like, you won. Contact me on some bizarre messaging app, because it's always something different. Because that's been a problem. I've talked about this last time I did a giveaway. This is one of the reasons why I don't do them as often anymore, because it's an unbelievable headache. The spammers are creative. It's too bad they couldn't put their creativity towards other things. But they will take, whoever's doing the giveaway, they'll take their profile pictures, their username, everything, set up fake accounts. One, you can if you take the time, more than 2 seconds, to just look at the person responding to you, saying you won, you can generally tell right there, because it'll be the username plus WhatsApp or a bunch of numbers, random things. The other way to tell is just click on their username. It will not bring you to my YouTube channel or my, social media account, whatever, wherever it is. It'll go to whatever fake account they've set up. So this, and this applies to me, but this applies to all the other card makers specifically. Because I won't talk about other realms on the interwebs, because there's a bajillion of them, but it happens all over the place. So no, we will not respond to your comments being you won, contact me here, and then they start asking for personal information. They want you to pay for the shipping. They want your info and they want your money. That's what they want, and just don't give it to them. So I wanted to just really pound it in good here, because I just trying to head it off. And the last time I did this and vented about giveaways, that really nipped a lot of it in the bud, because I think they got the hint that they weren't going to get anywhere. So I'll do it every time I do a giveaway. So this giveaway, it's going to be for a little Waffle Flower grip mat, because that's what this little launch party is. These came out, was it the beginning of this month? I think it was the beginning of this month. I've used them in several videos already, different sizes. I'll do a quick little walkthrough at the beginning of my video, and there will be more info. I will link to, again, I'll have a link to my Instagram, and then I'll link Waffle Flower did a really good blog post, and I think they've also got videos. So I'll give those links for you guys to go and check out if you want more information, everything, because they did the work. There is no point in me regurgitating it all, I genuinely like these. They were sent to me. They were sent to me. I ain't being paid to promote them or anything like that. I genuinely like them. The more I use them, I'm like, yes, where have these been all my life? So yeah, there's going to be a little giveaway on my Instagram, and it will be on the post. You'll just go to my Instagram, and it will be the card I'm going to show you guys how I made. It'll be the picture of this card. So you just click on over to my Instagram, find this card, because depending on, I'm posting a lot right now. And the info will be there. And you can leave your little comment. And all the actual info in the giveaway will be on the Instagram post with this. So that's all I have to say. Hopefully I covered all the bases. Just be skeptical. I encourage it. I am skeptical of everything. All the spam emails I get constantly, delete, don't respond. And yeah, I personally will never, ever ask any of you for money to sign up to some random weird app, unless I am physically sitting here talking to you, specifically stating, something that, you know, like, this is a great site. I don't know. So I won't ask you guys. I won't ask you guys to do any of that, jump through hoops, give me a bunch of personal information. I don't need any of it. And the times I do for specific giveaways, when I need like your mailing info, I do that separately, you know, in a separate document, and I don't keep anyone's information. I don't sell your information, like any of that. That, you know, just is what it is. So I think I covered it all, hopefully. And you guys can keep watching. I'll show you how I'll do the little walkthrough of the grip mats, and then I'll show you how I made this little card. And then, yeah, like I said, info, links, all the stuff will be in the description box below the video. And let's just see how the rest of this one goes. Alrighty, so with these grip mats, there are several different sizes. Do you need every size? No. Just choose what you think is going to work best for you. So the biggest one is 8.5 by 8.5 inches. That's just a nice big old monster size one. Kind of my favorite because I can do like more than one thing on there. I've used it to like hold die cuts for, you know, watercoloring, things like that. The 6.5 by 8.5. This one fits in a standard size MISTI. That's where I've got mine with one of its little grid line sheets, because every mat comes with a couple of grid line sheets that you can choose whether or not you want to use them. So that one fits the MISTI. Then there's this one. This is the 5.5 by 8.5 one. And I end up using this one today. I was just going to use the big one, but I'll get to that in a minute. Then we've got the 6-inch by 6-inch one. And this one, there are two like add-on little accessories. There's the Grip Mat guides and the Stencil extender. This one especially, the 6x6, is really nice if you really like those like turnabout stamps and things like that, or making like the wreath building things, that sort of stuff. And yeah, so I haven't used that one yet because I haven't pulled out my turnabout stamps in forever. Anyway, the next size down is the 4 3/4 by 6. This one fits the Mini Misty. Same thing. I've got mine set up in mine. Love it. Working great. And then we've got the little baby one. This is the A2 size. So 4 1/4 by 5.5. This is the one that's part of the giveaway. This is just great if you have a smaller space for smaller little like die cuts, little stencils, things like that. And a great way to just kind of test it out and see what you think. So they're all made of photopolymer. Same high quality photopolymer that clear stamps are made out of. And then, like I said, I'll have links below to like more info and all that, because there's just no point in me regurgitating all of it. So I'm going to use 2 grip mats to do my stenciling, because I was like, I could have just done it with one, but it was easier, and because I have them both, you know. So they come just like so. They've got like a backing sheet on each side to, you know, protect it, and then they have the grid sheets, whether or not you want to use them or not. And you just peel off the backing sheets. I save all those because I'm going to kind of keep them stored on those. And then you can choose whether or not you want to use the grid sheets. Now, when you don't use the grid sheets, they cling, especially to glass. My work surface is glass. It clings. This big one, this 8.5 one, I put the grid sheet on the back of it, so it slides around. I actually like that, because then I can, you know, easily pick it up and, I shouldn't say this, but toss it to the side. Toss it to the side when I'm working on, you know, I've got 5 million things going on. So I like both. I like the options. It's like, ooh, I can have it like grip and it's not going to move, or I can put the grid sheet on the back and then I can just move it to where I need it to be and not worry about it. So yeah, the biggest, obviously wonderful thing is, oh, do these grip stencils? I love it. I love it. Because even taping down a stencil, the amount of times I've had stencils, you know, shift on me, things like that, I'm quite enjoying these grip mats for that. So that's what I did. I die cut some white cardstock, and I used Waffle Flower's balloon background wafer die. This came out a couple months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, something like that. Again, I'll have links to all the things. But I'm using the balloon background die and then the balloon background stencil trio that coordinates with it, which is just fabulous. So I had both of these grip mats out because I'm doing the die cut, and then I also grabbed a piece of just A2 size cardstock because that's going to go on the inside of the card. So it just made my life easier. I could have technically fit both of these like on the the biggest mat there, the 8.5 one, but they would have been right next to each other, and that just annoys me. So it was easier to use two, but it also would have been just super easy to just pop these off, like use one mat, pop one piece off, pop the cardstock on, you know, but I got them. Why not use them? So I did very simple blending. By this point, I've super sped this up, but it still doesn't take very long. This video is getting long. So I'm using Concord 9th inks and my Waffle Flower blending brushes. And this stencil set has 3 stencils, and all the balloons are spaced nicely, like far apart on each stencil, which I also love because I was like, ooh, I don't have to mask anything off. I can just do my blend on the second piece, call it a day. And that's literally what I did. So I will link to all the colors I used of these Concord inks. I went with a rainbow of colors, of course. And with the piece that hasn't been die cut, I just used a lighter hand, kind of using, like I generally have shown in videos, whatever ink was left over on the stencil, and just a lighter hand. So it's not too intense, but I also went with just lighter colors in general because they're pretty. So I did all my stenciling off camera. I just rinsed my stencils off with water, let them dry. And then I took this die cut one and I just used my white Jelly Roll pen and added little highlights. Can't really see it very well in the video because again, I did a lighter hand with the blending, which I know, shocking, but just it gave it that little extra something. So I drew those little highlights just on the die cut one. I added foam adhesive squares to the back of this. I did that off camera as well. I was not going to sit there and like, who wants to watch me place and peel the backing off of like 50 foam squares? Anyway, you could also just die cut several scraps. That would work too, and pop them up that way. Whatever, floats your boat. But I put them on foam squares to give it more dimension. Stuck it to my card base, which was Nina Desert Storm cardstock. This is an A2 size card, so 4.25 by 5.5. So you can see this whole balloon background like takes up the whole space. And then I added gold splatter, as is tradition. So splattered that with my fan brush and my little splat box. Set that aside to dry. While that was drying, I turned on my Glimmer hot foil machine. Let that heat up, and I'm using the classic Happy Birthday foil plate with the coordinating wafer die. So I had the foil plate, and what I like to do is I take my foil, which is just gold glimmer foil. I tape the foil to my cardstock, pretty side of the foil facing up, and I use the little Spellbinders tape. And then I tape the hot foil plate to the foil and the cardstock. This just works for me. It just keeps everything in place and it doesn't shift. And I don't know, it just, for me personally, it's a game changer. Whether or not it actually makes a difference, like I'm always like shocked when I see other makers and they just stick the foil, the normal way. Put down your plate, stick on your foil, stick on your cardstock, let it heat up, run it through, and they get wonderful results. And I'm like, how are you achieving this? Like I must tape everything in place. I don't know. That's what works. Anyway, ran it through and I did. Look at that. I got perfect results. Perfection is always overrated, like I say, but there is something unbelievably satisfying when you hot foil and you peel it away and it's just like, oh, the angels are singing and life is wonderful. Anywho, I die cut it with a coordinating wafer die. I also die cut the A2 panel with one of Waffle Flower's rectangle wafer die sets to make it slightly smaller so that it'll fit nicely on the inside of the card. And then I put it in my Mini Misty with that little grip mat. And I'm stamping one of the Inside Sentiments birthday. Yeah, that's what the little stamp set's called. Waffle Flower's been coming out with several of these. I love them. Because one, you guys know, I got to put stuff on the inside. And I'm really loving the Inside Sentiments sets from Waffle Flower because they've got a bunch of really good little like phrases and things. And it's just nice. I love it. So I stamped one on the inside with some Nocturne ink. And then I created a little nest of gold thread. I don't do this very often, but it just, I don't know. I was like, ooh, this kind of be perfect. Kind of think of like the balloon strings, So I just created a little nest, just wrapped gold thread around my fingers and then stuck it on top of the balloons. And then it was adhered into place with the sentiment that I had hot foiled because I put foam squares on the back of that as well. And then just pressed it down. And then I adhered this panel onto the inside of the card. And once that's adhered, this card is complete. It's got a little rainbow of birthday balloons and gold splatter and gold thread and a gold hot foil sentiment. You can't go wrong with gold. It's just perfect. And like I said, I will have links below the video to more like info and blog posts, and I'll link to my Instagram, all of that. Just expand the description box below to check it all out if you're interested. Thank you all so very much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping and commenting. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.